There's no time to waste, especially when it comes to sending help, not to the American people, but to the Ukraine. That is, if you ask Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. James Comer, the House Oversight Committee chairman, found a deal that the Biden family had with a Chinese company that was worth $3 million. But as it turns out, they have almost a dozen additional business deals with China. Now, I don't think that this is good news for the Biden administration. Are any of you surprised that they had this many deals? And do you believe that we may even see more down the road? Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says that the arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin is a turning point for the war. In what may be another turning point for the worse, North Korea just simulated a nuclear attack on its neighbor, South Korea, to protest the joint military exercises that they've been having with the United States. Oh boy, talk about escalating things to a whole nother level, right? And Russia is now looking for the downed U.S. drone in the Black Sea, while a U.S. lawmaker demands that we shoot down Russian jets. Now, before I continue, please take a second, smash the like button, guys. It really helps out a ton with the algorithm, and I appreciate every single one of your clicks. And if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the state of our economy, social security, the stock market, the housing market, global happenings, and what's really going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, make sure to subscribe. And for the best way to invest in gold, there is a link in the description down below of this video. All right, guys, so an initial search for the downed US MQ-9 Reaper drone in the Black Sea has been called off, but not by the United States, but by Russia, as storms have recently hit the area. Now, it's also been said that sensitive data within the drone was remotely wiped, as it was expected that Russia would be trying to retrieve it. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham was pretty angry and downright pissed off about this entire incident, so angry that he went on TV to say this.
They shot down our drone. What should our answer be?
Well, we should hold them accountable and say that if you ever get near another U.S. set flying in international waters, your airplane would be shot down. What would Ronald Reagan do right now? He would start shooting Russian planes down if they were threatening our assets. American foreign policy is in free fall. I can't add much to what you've said. All I can tell you is that on multiple fronts, we're in a dangerous situation. Weakness breeds provocation. They spy balloon over the United States, shooting down an American drone, multi-million-dollar drone. They know they can get away with it. Mexico is blaming us for the fentanyl crisis, and Joe Biden is like a deer in the headlights. He needs to up his game quickly.
Do you guys agree with Graham? Or is this such a silly idea that no one's even taking it seriously? I feel like we've been very careful with this proxy war in the Ukraine that it wouldn't make sense to get into another war directly with Russia at this point. Now, speaking of war, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky was happy about the International Criminal Court's decision to issue an arrest warrant for President Vladimir Putin. Now, he said this, quote, "The evil state will be held accountable for every act of terror against Ukrainians. This week has brought a truly significant international legal result for Ukraine for justice. This is a warrant of the International Criminal Court for the arrest of the Russian leader, and this is a turning point. The world understands what's happening. The world sees how bravely and nobly our people are fighting," end quote. They may be fighting a huge spring offensive soon if we listen to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, as he urges that Ukraine doesn't have any time to waste. Austin also reiterated that we owe a lot of promises to the Ukraine and that, quote, "we have to deliver swiftly and fully on our promised commitments. That includes delivering our armored capabilities to the battlefield and ensuring that Ukrainian soldiers get the training, spare parts, and maintenance support that they need to use these new systems as soon as possible," end quote. Man, wouldn't it be nice if promises that were made to us would also be remembered and carried out? Putin hasn't even talked about the warrant and probably hasn't even given it much thought, as they called it legally void since Moscow doesn't recognize the Hague-based court decision. Now, on the topic of decisions, North Korea made a huge one by simulating a nuclear attack on South Korea with a ballistic missile launch. Uh-oh.
The U.S. and South Korea launching their biggest joint military exercises in years, readying themselves to defend against an evolving North Korean threat. North Korea wasting no time in retaliating. Official state media saying the North launched 2 cruise missiles on the eve of the drills from a submarine off North Korea's coast, claiming they flew for 2 hours in figure eights over the Sea of Japan. South Korea's military confirming they tracked at least 1 missile launch from the north, saying they're working with U.S. intelligence to analyze it. The test launch a pointed reminder of the escalating security threat from North Korea, which conducted more than 70 missile tests last year, the most ever. as the U.S. intelligence community predicts Pyongyang may soon conduct its 7th nuclear test.
Continues its efforts to steadily expand and enhance its nuclear and conventional capabilities, targeting the United States and our allies.
U.S. National Intelligence Director Avril Haines saying North Korea is using aggression to reshape the region.
And to reinforce its status as a de facto nuclear power.
The joint U.S.-South Korean military drills are the largest in 5 years.
So why is North Korea so eager to hold these simulations? Well, they're not very happy with the joint military exercises between our country, the United States, and South Korea. Both Japan and South Korea detected the short-range missiles being launched just an hour before the U.S. flew long-range B-1B bombers for training. It's also been confirmed that the missile was tipped with a mock nuclear warhead. Things are really heating up out there, huh? Almost as hot as the Biden family's chairs, as House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer revealed recently that their family had as many as 11 additional business deals with China. Wow, 11 deals with China? Are you kidding me? Now, this is on top of the one deal that showed a $3 million wire transfer. Now, just going off the math here, if each deal was worth about the same amount as that one, these deals would equal about $33 million. Now, again, not confirming that this is the number, I'm just basing it on the information that we already have. Now, Comer said this about the deals, quote, "We don't know what the Bidens did in return for this money. The lawyer said that it was C capital for a business. We haven't been able to find a business. Right now, it looks like the Biden family just pocketed this money," end quote. Wow. So you got to wonder, what could the Biden family have to offer that would warrant providing them with $3 million, let alone 11 more deals? Now, on the other hand, Hunter Biden's legal team said that he has every right to get into these money-making opportunities. According to a spokesperson, quote, "Hunter Biden, a private citizen with every right to pursue his own business endeavors, joined several business partners in seeking a joint venture with a legitimate energy company in China. Hunter received his portion of good faith seed funds, which he shared with his uncle James Biden and Holly Biden, and nobody else," end quote. Comer, though, wasn't convinced and said that it's impossible that President Biden was not involved in any of the deals by saying this, quote, "We know that when the president was vice president in the Obama administration, he made several trips to China. He brought his son and some of those associates with him. They met in different places with some of these people that the president claimed he never met with. So we know the president hasn't been truthful about his involvement when he was a vice president," end quote. Wow. So what do you guys make of this? You know what I haven't heard in a while? The urgency to help the struggling working American. What's up with that? We continue to pour blood, sweat, and tears just to keep ourselves fed. I mean, there's many people who still try to survive on SNAP benefits, some on Social Security, SSI, SSDI. There are those who just don't qualify for benefits, who line up for food banks, or they swipe their credit cards like there's no tomorrow. Now, I understand the plight that many of us have, but it's not a situation that we should be in. I mean, what if I told you that there were indeed answers to your financial troubles, that your cash flow can be improved by side hustles or even small businesses that could even be started on your smartphone, that investments in the stock market and real estate could add to your wealth and to your net worth, so long as you do your due diligence, of course, that budgeting actually works if you let it. Now, if you want to learn more about these topics, feel free to join us over in the Patreon community. There's a link in the description down below, right below the link for the best way to invest in gold. Now, before I go, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up for the video and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.